So we're going to talk spoilers, and we're going to save it for after, so you guys are safe.
Sweet.
But first, I want to know, did you guys know you were both reading for the same project on this one?
Well, I got there.
Yeah.
I got it first. So I was there during the whole process of them trying to find different people for Stanley. And I was there kind of during that whole process. So when I heard he was going to audition, psyched. I was happy that I get to actually be with, act with my friend who's playing my friend. So I thought that was just going to be real fun. And I'm so glad he got the part.
Was it real trippy when you got the role and it was another Stan?
Yeah, well, I was just like, well, like, it's like, okay, so we're working with people who've worked on Stranger Things. Obviously, we know someone from there. And then I saw in the email, it was like, Sophia Lillis casted as Sydney, and I was like, oh, okay. And then character name Stanley. So it's like everything was kind of like, everything came together for this, and it's like, it's fun to be playing another Stanley, a very different Stanley. And yeah, I'm glad to be working with her again, and I think we made something kind of fun.
You did.
Thank you.
As much as I know you're capable of much more, I would be really amused if you just got more and more stands over the course of your career.
Yeah, each stand is different in their own way. It's the Stanley Cinematic Universe is what people have been calling it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm totally into this idea.
I'm pretty into it as well.
Did you guys find your real life friendship kind of coming through the material at all? Because the connection there, it really does leap off screen, and I was just completely charmed by it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I guess it did. Hopefully.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, we didn't really, I mean, we all got along on the set of it, obviously, everyone was planning about that, but we didn't really get a lot of screen time together, like, alone to interact with each other. Our characters interacted sometimes, but especially with this show, we're able to really express our friendship, and, we're already super comfortable with each other, so it makes it so much easier when we have to act together and we get to rely on each other for that. So, yeah, it makes our jobs easier to already know each other.
I like hearing that. And because we are in the spoiler zone right now, I don't like asking the generic question, but I want to hear just what was the most challenging scene for you to film, whether it was something that was more dialogue driven or maybe something that relies more on Sid's powers.
ADR was the hardest. A lot of ADR. Whole thing ADR based, so that was the hardest for me. Don't know about you.
No, not that. But funny thing, the last scene we shot on set was the one where we're sitting on a table in the library planning out our heist mission. The last shot took about 11 takes. Because someone didn't remember their lines.
Okay, both of
us didn't remember our lines correctly, and no one was telling us that we were saying them wrong. And then we just sat there for like a while, and we're like, "What are we doing wrong?" It was a lot of fun.
Is it a situation though where the line is kind of seared in your brain now?
No.
No, I remember absolutely nothing when I said then.
Because like there used to be like another name, and then they like cut it out in ADR. But there was like another name that we had to say, so we had to get to get to Dawson's office. We need Whitaker's keys, and then get Whitaker's key, whatever. And it was like, it was fun.
So the end result of this is if you really had to do that heist, you would mess it up somewhere.
Yeah. Like the start, like as soon as we open the door, he'd turn around.
Can you actually solve a Rubik's Cube?
I can.
All right, I like that.
I don't have one with me.
Is there a trick to it?
It's just algorithms, like knowing where each color is, and yeah, it's not too difficult once
I
you
get
know
like
it.
halfway through the explainer videos on YouTube, and then I'm like, I don't know.
I just took the time and I sat down. I'm like, I should probably solve this because I had one.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has one, but yeah, I just took the time and then I was like, okay, it's pretty simple.
You put it in there too, didn't you?
I forgot. Like I was just doing it on set one day, and then
Jonathan was like, "You should do that on."
You should do that on the show.
Thank
and
you.
then I did it on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there any other elements of your characters that were purely you and weren't on the page before that we could see on screen?
There's one scene where I yell at him for doing that whole thing, and that was kind of, honestly, it was a little bit. It was annoying after like 5 takes. So yeah, I was a little bit annoyed. So when I yell at him to put that down, I'm kind of genuine.
Very
All
real.
right,
Very
I'd believe
real.
that. Did you guys ever come up with a name or a term for Sid's powers? Because I guess it's not just telekinesis; it's more than that. So did you guys refer to it as anything?
Not really.
I mean, I still kind of refer to it as telekinesis. Like, I mean, Brad's head exploding is like kind of like making like everything go apart. Like technically
It's
that's
fair.
telekinesis, but maybe she can put bombs inside people's heads. I don't know. That'd be an interesting power. Manifest stuff. I don't know.
That's the secret of that scene. Wow.
I don't know.
What was it like shooting that scene in particular? What is kind of the movie magic happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of before and after, like before when I'm looking at him and after I'm all drenched in blood. So there was a big, transition with my body and his body. And yeah, there was the whole double, like that's the first thing he saw was the double on the floor with all the blood and everything, and that was real interesting. Got good pictures of me with that.
I do too.
Yeah, I know. And no, there's a lot of special effects with the blood exploding and everything, but I didn't have to do anything about that. That was all the special effects people. So.
And it comes together quite well in the end.
Thank you.
That is really a very wow-worthy way to end the season. So when you guys were first reading the script and you hit that point, were you shocked that that's where it ended? And what questions did you have for Jonathan about maybe what could happen next?
I thought that was the perfect way to end something like this, especially with kind of Jonathan's kind of dry, quirky humor and way of working. The ending just seemed pretty fit.
Yeah, I mean, it felt kind of like, oh, that was quick. But I feel like it's like if you're paying attention while you're watching, I think everything kind of leads up to that moment, and it's like foreshadowed often. Obviously, Brad's nose bleeding and stuff, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, everything kind of comes together, and I feel like that it couldn't have ended in a better way.
If you guys could pick one thing about your characters that you would like to see on screen in other characters more often, what would it be?
Ooh.
There's like 1,000,001 answers for both of you.
Absolutely. I don't know, something more serious, I think, or maybe, I don't know. I actually don't know. I like Stanley Barber a lot.
I don't
like playing
blame
that
you.
character.
I'm same with him. I don't know.
You want to play Stanley Barber?
Yeah, I do, because I want to play Stanley Barber.
That would actually be a kind of
Spin-off.
fun like side video to do, just to flop
Yeah.
rolls and see what happens.
Yeah.
A spin-off show with everyone playing Stanley.
I would be down to see that happen.
Me too.